to prepare for this wonderful performance. And the gods I see are smiling on us in terms of the weather, which is wonderful. I would like to ask you all to please switch off your mobile telephones and to hold your applause until the very end. I hope that you enjoy our performance, and it is the musical based on the book of Little Women, the book that was written by Alan Nee, but of course it was based on Miss Alcott's Little Woman and the classic that she wrote in the 1800s. Thank you.
Mrs. Kirk's New York City boarding house. It is January of 1865.
Mrs. Kirk, the mutton you ordered is on the kitchen table.
I will not make it for lunch, as it's quite late now. It will have to be dinner. Thank you anyway.
Helga, can you bring me some water, please?
Yes, miss. Would you like anything else?
No, thank you.
Girls, start peeling potatoes.
Yes, Mom.
Miss March! Another letter has arrived for you, Miss March.
Thank you, Professor. Christopher Columbus, another publisher. Another rejection?
I have no idea. I do not read your letters, but they keep arriving, and I keep bringing them to you.
And I keep hoping.
We all keep hoping for your success, Miss March. The entire boarding house keep hoping. You have us all on edge.
My dear Miss March, I read your story. Well, he's read it. Unfortunately, I found your tale tasteless and vulgar, not at all suitable for my readers. My advice to you...
My advice to you is to return home and have babies. This is what women are made for. Sincerely, F. Putnam.
22.
22.
22 rejections since I've been in New York. They all say the same thing. Go home. Give up.
You cannot lose. Putnam's quite mad. His words are nonsensical.
Putnam is one of the most powerful publishers in the city.
You cannot lose faith, Miss March. There will be someone who will like your story. I'm certain of it.
Professor Bear, is it possible I could read my story to you? I would so respect your opinion.
Yes, of course.
Use your imagination and you will see it all in front of you. It's one of my best. It's a mean and stormy night. The moors are bleak and bloody. Thunder claps, lightning strikes. The fair Clarissa, her clothes in disarray, races across the wild coastal heath. Now she stops. Now she runs. Will she escape? Will she be caught? With bold determination, the villainous aristocrat Braxton Prendergast lurches for her. There's no escape. She's but a child, and yet she turns to fight with eyes ablaze. This noble girl meets his gaze, unafraid. She will not be defiled.
Keep away from me, you wretch!
I cannot keep away. Your beauty draws me. Your passion passion ignites me. I've got to hold you. I defy you. Got to have you. Let me buy you. Come close. Don't come too close. Come close. Don't come too close. So close to me. I'll have her.
Rodrigo appears in magnificent splendor.
Unhand that woman, William. Who are you? I'm your destiny, your Beatrice foe. You stole what was rightly mine 10 long years ago. You left me cold, alone, and forgotten. Now I'm back to settle the score.
Miss March, tell me exactly, what is it you are writing here?
Blood and gut stuff, of course. It's all the rage. The magazines and periodicals are full of it.
Violence and seduction on every page?
Oh, go on, Professor. Read Shakespeare. Read history. Read the newspaper.
It's getting late. Perhaps it's best we pursue this some other time. I've no time to read anything.
No. I want to know what you think about my story, Professor.
Blood and gut stuff is what you think the world wants to hear. If I've noticed nothing else but you, Miss March, I've noticed you are unique. Something you should try not to forget. I think you could do better.
Better? And who are you anyway? An aging German professor who must be close to 50?
Close to 50? Is that what you think of me? I'm 34.
34? Really? Well, you look a lot older.
I worry a lot.
And just what do you worry about?
How to avoid conversations such as this. Now, I'll go to dinner. Miss March, since you've been here, 6 weeks now, is it? You shout, you rant, you upset the whole order of this boarding house, whereas I am a serene and peaceful man.
No, you're not. You're aloof and you're arrogant.
Arrogant! Miss March, I spoke my mind as you spoke yours. Obviously, it was not respected on either side.
Obviously, my stories were a great success in Concord. Better? Better than what? Better than this dazzling plot? Better? This story will be my King Lear. Each phrase is better. Better than him. Better? Even my smallest whim is better. How can he miss what's so clear? How can I do better than what's already here? How can what he said to me be true? If I don't succeed, what will I do? Turn around, go back to Concord, leave New York behind unconquered? No! How dare he make me doubt the way I feel? Doubt that each thrilling page is who I am. Aren't these words lined with passion, vivid as my attic where it all began?
The March Attic in Massachusetts. It is the day before Christmas, 1863, 2 years prior to Joe going to New York.
Joe, the girls at school were horrible to me. Charlotte Fenton said my dress was right and my nose was flat.
Joe, I hate being a governess. I should be meeting eligible young men.
It's going to be a dismal Christmas. What, with Father away and no money for presents?
Amy, Meg, Joe has a surprise for us.
Listen, everyone. I have risen to the occasion this year and written us an operatic tragedy.
And we're going to perform it for Christmas.
No, I can't. Not with my flat nose.
Joe, do you really think we should?
Well, with this awful war.
When have we let anything defeat us? Years from now, people will talk about us. One Christmas Eve, four penniless and ragged sisters put on an operatic tragedy for all of Concord.
All of Concord? Oh, Joe, no!
Filled with blood and guts. 2 massacres, a mass ball, and several heart-wrenching scenes. We'll dim the lights. The crowd will hush. We'll start the overture, and Beth will surely blush. And when Clarissa starts to plead, Christmas will exceed our finest dreams.
Joe, do I die again in this one?
Yes, of course you do. Meg, you will die like none before. The world will shudder when your body hits the floor. For when Rodrigo makes you bleed, Christmas will exceed our finest dreams. Now, Beth, ask Clarissa.
Only passion is permissible. The tragedy depends on the fire in your eyes.
And Beth, when you're the mother, you'll be noble, you'll be pure. All hearts will melt the moment mother cries.
Let us begin.
Oh, mother, dear mother, do not cry.
No, expression from the heart. Mother, dear mother, do not cry. Amy.
Mother, dear mother. Joe, I'm teased and ridiculed at school, and all that concerns you is your silly little tragedy?
I know you're tired. I know it's hard, but we will triumph when Rodrigo yells on guard.
Touche! Our success is guaranteed. Christmas will be thrilling. Christmas will be gory. Christmas will exceed our finest dreams.
I made an important decision today. As you all know, I've been writing stories forever, with much satisfaction. And people seem to like what I write.
We love it, Joe.
Absolutely. So I decided I'm going to become a world-renowned writer. I shall write great books and earn barrels of money, and I'll give you all everything you've ever dreamed of.
Joe. Joe can do anything.
But we must promise to remain just as we are. Solid, fortress. No matter whatever happens, we must promise we'll always be the 4 March sisters. Forever!
Forever!
Come, let's rehearse. Mother, dear mother, do not cry.
Mother, dear mother, do not cry.
Not my daughter, you wretch.
Not my daughter, you wretch.
You will have me or no one.
You will have me or no one.
No one.
No one.
Oh, my dearest mama, there will be Christmas after all.
Christmas.
Christmas!
Christmas will exceed our finest dreams.
Christopher Columbus, I'm bursting with energy. Someone give me a task to do.
I want you to bring father home.
I shall write a letter to President Lincoln tonight. Another.
I want you to get Annie Moffat to invite me to her Valentine's Day ball.
I'll wring her little neck if she doesn't. Another.
I want you to get us a Christmas tree.
Rodrigo will go chop one down immediately.
Where?
There, across the road.
But that's on Mr. Lawrence's property.
You'll go to prison for that.
Prison. What care I for prison?
Joe is an incredible human being.
Look, it's Mr. Lawrence. There, standing at the window glaring out.
He looks sinister.
I think he looks sad.
I wouldn't be sad living in such a house.
Has anyone ever been inside?
He never let any of us in.
They say he's a very angry and bitter man. Joe's going to get us all into deadly trouble.
We'll be known as the family with the criminal sister.
What criminal sister?
Mommy,
you're home.
What's happening here?
Joe's written us an outright tragedy.
And she's inviting all the talkers to come see us perform it.
And I'm the mother in it.
And, well, I die in it, but it's a beautiful death.
And I play Carissa, who's very sweet.
Sounds wonderful.
Tell us about your day.
Well, we needed socks for the Soldiers' Aid Society, and a letter came from Father.
A letter from Father?
Read it to us, Marmee.
Where's Joe?
She's outside.
We'll wait for her then.
She may be ours.
Now, let's hear about all the things you did today.
Well, I baked a dozen biscuits and then I practiced the piano.
Charlotte Fenton teased me ridiculously at school. I was so humiliated.
Marmee, I hate being a governess. I do try, but the children get the best of me.
Rodrigo has returned.
Joe! Mommy, where did you get that tree?
I borrowed it from Mr. Lawrence.
You did what?
I took it for us, Marmee.
And you'll take it back immediately.
Take it back? That's like bringing back a chicken after you've chopped off its head. Do let us keep it.
It's Christmas.
Well, we could give it to the Hummels. They have so little.
Well then, the tree goes to the Hummels then. Now what about Mr. Lawrence?
What about him?
Mr. Lawrence!
Yes, Mr. Lawrence. You!
Me?
You chopped down my perfect perfect Dallas fir. I shall have you arrested.
I'll make it up to you, sir.
With what?
I'll plant 6 more.
12
And I'll chop your firewood for a few days.
weeks and hope such an incident never happens again. You ruined my day.
He loves his trees. I'm Theodore Lawrence III, but everyone calls me Laurie. I've come to live here, in Concord. I can play the piccolo. I can sleep standing up. And I won a medal at school for holding my breath nearly 3 minutes before passing out. I think that was terrifically daring if you're chopping down grandfather's tree. Well, goodbye.
Theodore Lawrence III, would you mind delivering this tree to the Hummel?
Joe! I don't mind at all.
He doesn't mind.
Just point me in the direction.
They live half a mile down the road. The red house with the broken shingles.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Joe, March. You must think before you act on every whim.
I just want us all to have a wonderful Christmas. A letter came from Father, actually. Columbus! Read it to us, Marmee.
My dear wife, the war goes on and on. The end seems nowhere in sight. The days are difficult and long, but I am well.
He's well.
Still, it's very lonely away from my dear ones, especially lonely as Christmas is approaching. Each night in my tent I think of my precious girls.
He thinks of us.
Give them all my love and give them a sweet kiss. Tell them to be good girls, faithful and hardworking. And to conquer that which is disagreeable in them, so that when I return, I'll be fonder and prouder than ever of my little women. Why are we all looking so glum? Do we have an operatic tragedy to perform or not? We do! Then we have work to do. I'll give you a curtain to paint and you'll have to do the costumes.
Will you perform something, Marmee?
Marmee?
Yes, yes, I will. We'll make this the best Christmas ever. Us smart women are invincible.
I'll write something thrilling for you with passion and daring.
I'll go get my paints.
I'll design a costume for Marmee. I'll do the handbill. I still don't know why we couldn't have kept the tree.
My dear husband, write a letter, be inventive, tell you everything is fine, be attentive to the distance and send my love with every line. Every word should bring you closer and caress you with its tone. Nothing should remind you that I'm here, alone.
Write a letter, be inventive, tell you everything is fine. Be attentive to the distance, send my love with every line. Every word should bring you closer and caress you with its tone. Nothing should remind you that I am here alone. I can tell you what I'm feeling. I can talk about the counting little women. When I am here alone, counting days, praying for news. Is this the life we meant to choose? Do you know how much I miss you at this hour of the day? How I wish you were the twilight, come to take my fears away. Can I manage for young women? I'm not certain I know how. Will I be there when they need me? Do I fail them even now? The night seems so much longer now that I am here alone.
Aunt March's home in Massachusetts.
Josephine? Josephine. Is that you, Josephine?
Good morning, Aunt March.
Do you know the hour?
Almost 10, I believe.
Your workday with me begins at 9. You've missed reading to me and still haven't prepared the latch on the cellar door.
I got delayed finding you this beautiful flower.
Don't trifle with me, Josephine. You were dawdling.
I wasn't dawdling. I was writing a story.
You're what happens to a girl when she has no father.
I have a father.
Never here when you need him. And now my nephew has the audacity to be an army chaplain when he can't even support his own family. Josephine, listen to me. You are on the verge of womanhood.
Christopher Columbus.
And just look at you. You go about writing senseless stories, constantly trying to save the world, when you can't even save yourself.
I don't need saving.
There are many pitfalls a girl can fall into, and Josephine, you are heading towards all of them. I want to see you shine. Even if you're not rich, you can at least marry well.
I'll never marry.
Oh, you'll marry. All girls marry.
I'm not all girls.
With a good marriage, you can have power. You can take your place in society.
I don't give two figs about society.
Then there's no point in us having this conversation. It's clear to me I could never take you to Europe.
Take me to Europe.
It was an idle thought of mine.
Do you know how important it is for a writer to travel? It's been my dream, Aunt March.
We earn our dreams in this world. It's foolish of me to think you could ever change your ways.
I could try.
You could never bend your will. You could never follow through. You could never bite your tongue. Though your tongue may split into two. If you want to live your dreams, these are things you have to do. How could you change? You can't. Not you.
Could change if I wanted to.
Could you practice self-control? Could you possibly be shy? Could you wear a corset tight in the heat of mid-July? These are rules you must obey, every one which you could defy. How could you change? You won't. That's why. Yet somewhere, deep within my heart, I believe you could captivate the world. If you change, there's so much you could achieve. In time, you could succeed and travel very far indeed. You could be beguiling.
Charming? Me?
Someone well-mannered, a model of grace. Learn the art of smiling.
That could be hard.
It isn't very hard for someone full of dreams like you.
So,
If I change, we'll go to Paris?
Change completely. Don't waste my time.
The March Parlor. It is February 14th, 1864.
Girls, it's getting quite late.
Wait till you see them, Marmee.
To think that my two oldest girls are attending their first ball. Next year will be you, Beth.
Me? You think so?
Of course. Meg? Are you alright?
I can't go.
Meg, why not?
Look at me. Every girl in Concord my age had been to a ball before. And this is the very first time I've ever worn a dress like this. Anything like this.
I wore that very same dress at my first ball, and it didn't look half as good on me. Margaret, March, you have been dreaming of Amy Moffat's Valentine's Day ball for weeks now. It was your main goal. You cannot run away from it now. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance.
I'm not built for gowns.
You look very alluring.
I think the word is alarming, Marmee. Look at Meg. She's the beauty. She'll be the most sought-after girl at the ball.
She doesn't want to go.
Meg? What will I do if someone asks me to dance?
Just smile and say I'd be delighted.
Delighted?
Delighted. Now offer him your hand.
Delighted?
Delighted. Now let him take command.
Delighted?
Delighted.
I'm hardly delighted.
You're dancing like a candle, darling.
I can't dance tonight.
Amy should come see you.
Amy? I'm ready.
Amy, what are you doing?
I'm going to the ball.
You're what?
I found this old dress, and it almost fits.
It was mine.
Yes, I know. All it needs is a pretty sash. Besides, why shouldn't I go?
Because you weren't invited.
I'll go in your place.
In my place.
You don't care about good society, and I do.
I don't care about snobs, people who think they're better than you just because they have grander houses.
Well, they do have grander houses.
Amy, stop it, please.
It's time to go. And I'll tell everyone how sweet you were to give me your fan.
Amy.
Good night, Marmee. Beth, if anyone calls for us, we're at the ball.
Goodbye.
Good night. Amy, think about what you said to Joe. And when she comes back, you can apologize. Now come, girls. Off to bed.
Amy, coming.
Annie Moffat's Valentine's Day Ball.
It was an accident. I swear, Meg, Mrs. Parrott kept moving in on me like a mountain lion. She had this gigantic ear trumpet and she kept shouting at me, "What's that you say, my dear?" She's deaf. She got so close, I
ended up spilling the entire glass of punch on her. Oh, Joe. And then Annie Moffat said to me, "Can I be of help, Sally?" Sally? Who is Sally? I think it's her dog. I ought to box her ears. Joe, don't. We'll take a few minutes, and then we'll go back as if nothing had happened. Our heads held high. Yes, you're right. For a young lady who's soon to go abroad and do amazing things, I shall return poised and elegant, brimming with confidence. I shall sit grandly. Christopher Columbus! Excuse me? You? Me? What are you doing here?
I passed out. Too much dancing, I guess.
Too much punch, I'd say.
Lori, where have you been? I've been looking everywhere for you. Mr. John Brooke. Your grandfather will be furious. He wants you to meet some important people. I have. These are the March girls I've been telling you about. The ones from across the way. This is Meg, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's Jo. She cuts her firewood on occasion. This is Mr. John Brooke. He's a scholar from Boston.
Sir, you've taken my dance card.
Your dance card?
Yes.
Oh, is that yours? So you're Margaret March?
Yes, I am.
It's a splendid party back there, isn't it?
Yes, quite lovely. So, you're from Boston?
Actually, Maine.
I've never been to Maine.
You should go. It's a beautiful country. Very primitive.
I like primitive.
Really? Is that true?
Well, no. No. I read Keats and Shelley's. I mean, Sheets and Kelly's.
So do I.
Really?
All the time.
Christopher Columbus.
Would you like to dance, Miss March?
Meg, we were about to join the ladies in the salon. I'd be delighted, Mr. Brooke. Excuse us, Joe. Did you see that? He just... What is with you and that smile?
You make me leave.
Well, you look ridiculous.
And you're looking very fetching tonight.
Vexing, really.
So tell me, what do you do when you're not attending balls?
I write blood and guts stories. I make extraordinary plans. I'm going to go to Europe, and I'm going to meet famous writers and revolutionaries. So what about you? What do you do? Mommy says you're all alone in the world. No mother or father. That must be awful for you.
It's not awful. I've got a cranky old grandfather. And I've got a cat. And I've got...
What?
Well, I was hoping to say you.
Me? You don't have me.
I know I have no right. But sometimes late at night, I watch you in that attic, pacing back and forth like a mania. I've never met a girl like you. Anyone I know like you. This is very nice. Such a lovely party. The music sounds so thrilling, it makes a person feel like dancing. I'm very good. I won a medal for dancing at school.
I don't dance. Besides, I've got a patch on the back of my dress.
A patch, let me see.
No!
I like it. That patch could start a whole new fashion. You dance with me tonight, and I guarantee that by next spring every girl in Concord will wearing a patch on the back of her dress. We could do 100 things. Do anything you please. We could fly on golden wings across the 7 seas. I bet we could get a camel through a needle if we'll take a chance at me.
You're a lunatic.
We could catch 1,000 stars and stand them on a pin. We could leap from here to Mars and make the planet spin. If you want to do all the things you ever dreamed of, come on, take a chance at me. We could be such friends. Friends are never lonely. All I know is books. Books are solitary. But I see you every day and how you live in your own way, and it makes me want to dare to take a chance at you.
All right, we could box if you like.
You box?
Ready?
I shall warn you, I won a medal for boxing at school.
Ah, you cheat! So that's how you win medals!
The March residence after the ball.
Mommy! Mommy, we're home! Mommy! Meg!
Miss March, John Brooke. I'm Laura's tutor. We were dancing and the ankle might be sprained. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
I'd like to tell you about the ball. I tried to do all these ladylike things, Marmee. That went unnoticed, except by Mr. Lawrence's grandson. And poor Meg. No one even asked her to dance but that pompous Mr. Brooke.
He danced divinely. I had a wonderful time. Actually, I had the best time of my life. I may have left here a girl, but I came back a woman.
A woman? What's he talking about? Meg!
It's just Meg being silly, Marmee.
It's been a long night for all of us. Let's all go to bed.
Beth, darling, look what I brought for you. A truffle.
Thank you, Joe.
Good night, Mommy.
Night.
I'm sorry for the things I said, Joe.
And for you, Miss March, a petite food. Little squash, but still edible.
Thank you, Joe.
Good night. Don't be too long, Joe. I just need to put the finishing touches to my story, Marmee. See that the fire is out? Amy? Amy? Amy!
Joe, what happened?
Amy! Amy, where are you? What did you do with my story?
Nothing.
What did you do? I was working on that story day and night.
I burned it.
You what?
And I'm glad I did.
I ought to choke you.
Go on, I bare my throat to
Girls,
you.
go, stop it. What's got into you both? Back to bed now.
She burnt my story.
You did what?
She deserved it.
No, she didn't. You did an intolerable thing. You burned what meant the world to Joe.
Joe has everything.
What do I have? I wear dresses with patches. I write a story that my sister burned.
You could have given me the invitation.
The invitation was meant for me.
Your time will come, Amy.
No, my time will never come. I'm always forgotten. I'm always last. I'm never invited anywhere. I hate the way I look. And I hate this nightgown.
It was mine.
I want something that's mine.
Good night, Mommy.
I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault. Though you did give birth to her.
Can't you see that she wants to be like you? She's just a child, Joe.
She's not just a child. She's a demon in a child's body. If I could bring your story back, I would. My writing's everything to me, Marmee. It's who I am. It's my future. It's my passion.
And that passion is still in you.
I'll never forgive her.
It's not wrong for you to feel anger towards Amy. But please keep in mind that if you build a wall between you and Amy, the one person you may end up hurting is no one other than yourself. And I cannot bear that. Try and get some sleep, my dear.
I can't sleep. I won't. I will never fall asleep again. Not for decades. No, not even then. My life was in this story. How could she be so cruel? How can so much be lost so easily? I wrote my heart out. Does not seem fair. I'll rage. I'll go cold and bitter. Carlotta, the mad woman in the attic. A creature of gall. I like this. A spinster, rejected by the world. Changed her appearance, yet she attached golden braids to her hair.
Lori. I'm sure he'll be home soon. The boy has 6 lessons, falling behind in all his work. I've strictly forbidden him to associate with his family. Why, sir? Because a man needs an iron will to succeed in this world, and this family will always soften him. Which one of the dreadful little March girls are you? I'm Dreadful Beth. Oh yes, you're the one. Lori told me you're the one who wants to play my priceless piano. It's out of the question. Piano belongs to my daughter, Lori's mother. It belongs just to pass away, and that's how it should stay. Are you afraid of me?
I'll let you say.
Why?
It might have something to do with your face. It's very hard.
I cannot help my heart face. Continue with your thing. Well, go on. What's the matter now? Well, goodbye. Come visit me tomorrow. I find the key to that old piano. We'll see if there's some music left. And if you see Lori, tell him I wish to see him at once.
Meg! Meg!
What is it, Beth?
Meg, Mr. Lawrence is here, and he invited me over to his house to play his piano. He's really just horrible as we imagined.
Oh, Beth!
Joe, what happened?
She fell through the ice.
Amy, she was skating by the bridge and suddenly the ice came away. I got her just in time.
She's careless. She's rash. You don't think you know you're not supposed to skate by the bridge. Everyone knows the ice by the bridge is dangerous.
But you didn't want me skating near you. I love your stories, Joe. I tried to write one to make up for what I did, but I couldn't think of anything to say. So I drew a picture of you with your beautiful hair.
And my big mouth.
And you just ignored it.
You skate recklessly. If it wasn't for Lori, you could have been killed.
Maybe it would have been better if I had.
You must never talk like that. When the ice broke underneath you, all I could think was, I could have lost you.
Then go on, Joe. Forgive her.
See how much he's changed.
See her sweet side. I think she deserves another chance.
Everybody stop it. I was devastated when you burnt my story. I didn't understand how you could do such a thing. Promise me, promise, you'll never think of me as an enemy, but as a sister who loves you.
I promise, Joe.
The March sisters, forever, forever! Lori who saved Amy and made this day possible. I would like to declare before everyone, before the world, that on this day of forgiveness, I enjoy that you, Theodore Lawrence III, who has valiantly lost all contests to me, I declare you our brother, the brother we never had.
The sun porch outside the March house. It is the spring of 1865.
Miss March, you must be getting to the station.
Amy, darling, are you ready? Amy, Aunt will be here soon.
You don't want to miss your train.
I need a few more minutes. I'm waiting for Joe. Tell me I'm doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing.
I've never left my girls before.
Your husband has pneumonia and needs you with him in Washington.
I feel like I'm being torn apart into one part of me here, one part of me there.
I'll look in on the girls every day.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence.
I'll take this to the couch.
Thank you.
Oh, hi, Beth. Good morning, sir.
Everyone's ready. He's packing up half the house.
Where's Joe? I sent her to Aunt March hours ago.
I'll go find her.
Thank you, Beth.
Marmee, here's the shawl Father loves so much.
Thank you.
Marmee, please don't make me go to Aunt March's house. It scares me. Everything's so old in it. I drew a picture of you with apple blossoms in your hair. It's for Father. Is he going to die?
No, I'll make certain of it that he does not. Go and get the rest of your things.
I'm sorry I'm so late. I did get the money though.
Thank you, Joe. I know how hard it is for you to ask Aunt March.
I didn't ask her, I couldn't. So I walked to the town common and stood there all morning trying to sell my stories. And when that failed, I sold my hair.
You're bald!
Not bald.
I think she looks beautiful.
Now Marmee will have money, enough to get to Washington and stay with Father for as long as he needs her. Here, $27.25. I threw in a few coins I had stashed away.
Thank you, Joe. I'm so
Disappointed?
proud. It was a very courageous thing to do. Thank you, Joe. Come, let me call my girls.
I feel so awful. We've never been parted before.
Amy.
I'll look after everything, Marmee. Don't worry.
I'll be as soon as possible back. And no tears. How do you grow up so fast? Ugh. I'll be soon back.
Oh, and tell Father how much I love him and miss him.
I will. I love you all. Bye. Bye. My dearest Margaret, make certain your husband recovers. Thank you, Aunt March. Amy, tell Aunt March how excited you are to go to Aunt March's.
I'm so excited to stay with you while Marmee is in Washington.
Naturally. I won't be too long, okay? Be strong. Bye. Josephine, what have you done?
I sold my hair so Marmee could have a safe journey to Washington.
You did what? I told you, if you need money, come to me.
I was hoping to earn my own money.
Cutting one's hair and selling it like a beggar is not an option for a lady. I've forgotten about our contract.
I never forget it. Traveling, seeing Europe, Paris, London.
You know that's your part of the bargain. Why should I live up to mine?
I've tried to live up to my part of the bargain. I went to a ball. I improved my manners. I read books on etiquette. I practiced dancing with Meg. I held my tongue in several occasions when I wanted to scream out. I've got a fire in me, Aunt March.
See how far this fire will take you. See how many doors this fire will open. See what society thinks of you.
To hell with society.
Josephine!
We don't live for society. We live for what we have inside of us. We live to expand our minds, fulfill our dreams, engage in passionate exchanges.
That's enough. You think you know everything, and yet you know nothing. And as for Europe, you can forget about it. Europe is waiting for someone with a little more understanding of its rewards.
Aunt March, please!
The subject is closed.
The subject is not closed. And if it is, I open it up again. I'll go to Europe. I'll go to Europe if I have to swim there. Hello, John.
I like your haircut, Joe.
And my hair will grow back!
And just who is this man?
He's Laurie's tutor. And a friend.
Well, tell this friend his visit to be brief. Amy, get your things. I have plans for you. I'll be waiting in the carriage.
Yes, ma'am.
John, what have you done?
I've enlisted. I couldn't stay any longer. Your aunt father is in the army hospital in Washington. I have friends who will never return.
When do you leave?
Tonight, Meg, Margaret, if you, I'm not a rich man, and I'm not particularly handsome.
You are very handsome, John.
Really? You think so? I'm not the wisest man in the world.
You are very wise.
Thank you. Meg, Margaret, if you could find it in your heart, if you could love me as I love you, if only you'd care while we are apart, then I could be wise, I could be rich, I could be more than I am.
Wait for your return? Wait while you're at war?
If only you'll wait while I'm gone. If only you will imagine me here with you. If only you'll care if I carry on. Then I could be strong, I could be brave, I could be more than I am.
Why must you go? Don't be too brave. Only come home.
If you will say you love me enough to marry me, I will come home and love you.
Where you'll come home?
All of my life. And I will be more than I am. Say yes, make me more than I am.
I'll marry you tomorrow. I'll marry you today. Come home and I'll love you for all of my life.
I swear to you now, with all of my life, I swear I will love you as you love me.
From this moment on, though we'll be apart,
we will always be together.
I'm more than I am.
I'll write you every day, twice a day, 5 times a day.
What?
We'll all go to Europe. Why shouldn't we go? Here we are, young women, on our own, taking care of ourselves. It's time we looked ahead. We'll save our pennies. I'll get a real job. I've planned out our itinerary. We'll go to Spain first, Madrid, then to Rome, visit the Vatican, have an audience with the Pope. It's a wonderful idea, isn't it?
Joe, I'm engaged. John proposed, and I accepted.
What about our promise to remain together?
Joe, we made that promise a long time ago. You've changed. I've changed.
I haven't changed. I never make a promise one day, then break it another. Our word is everything, Meg.
Joe, I love him.
So you love him. I'm talking about us, Meg. We're alone now. We only have each other. Our future as a family is at stake.
Joe.
You can't turn your back on us.
I'm not turning my back on you.
I told you, I'm going to be a famous writer.
I know.
I'll give you everything you've ever dreamed of.
But if she loves him, Joe.
I do, with all my heart and soul. I've lost Meg.
You haven't lost Meg.
I've lost my trip to Europe.
I know you'll find your way there someday, Joe. You can make the clouds disappear.
It's you who makes the clouds disappear. Let me tell you about my day. Well, I sold my hair. And before that, I stood in the common. And when no one paid attention to me, I cried out, "Joe March is here!" And then I recited my story. Carlotta, the mad woman in the attic.
It is several weeks later in the attic. It is May of 1865.
Carlotta, the mad woman in the attic, a creature of gold, a spinster rejected by the world, hungry for blood, rose from the dark. Joe! Joe March! Her eyes are beady red, her hair ghostly white. Joe, it's your best friend, Theodore Lawrence III! And her fingers clutched with rage as she went out into the wretched night.
Lori, Christopher Columbus, it's so good to see you. You've not been here in weeks.
I was in Boston. I have dreadful news.
What's news?
When the war ended, grandfathers insisted I get on with my life. He enrolled me in school.
That's wonderful news.
What's wonderful about it? Leaving the best friend I've ever had?
I can't imagine life in Concord without you. Not seeing your silly grin every day.
But I don't want to go.
But you've got to go. This is an incredible opportunity. College. I'd go in a minute. I'd study everything.
What do you need of schools? You're going to be a famous writer.
Famous?
I need to tell you something.
Tell me something.
Ever since the first day I saw you, do you remember that day?
Of course.
The day you chopped down Grandfather's cherry tree. From then, I knew that you and I would be magnificent together.
We are magnificent together.
My sweet Joe, for weeks now, months even, I wanted to...
What was that?
A kiss.
I know it was a kiss.
It was my first kiss. I thought about it for a long time. We could live a million dreams, but only if we dare. We could go to such extremes, there's so much we could share.
What's got into you?
Look here, I took a part in my inheritance and I put you this ring.
What are you talking about?
I want to marry you.
Marry me? Stop this, Lori. It's not funny.
I practiced saying the words over and over. Marry me, marry me.
Have you gone mad?
I love you, Joe, and I want you to be my wife.
No. Find someone else. Find some accomplished girl.
I don't want an accomplished girl. I want you.
Well, you can't have me.
At least say you'll think about it.
There's nothing to think about. I'll never marry.
You don't mean that.
I do mean it.
You'll marry.
I won't.
You will. Just on me. That's what you're really saying.
Go away. I thought you understood me.
You knew all along how I felt. Everybody knew.
You knew all along who I am, what I wanted. I bared my soul to you, Lori. Go away.
Joe.
Please, just go. Who is he? Who is he with his marry me? With his ring and his marry me? The nerve. The gall. This is not what was meant to be. How could she ruin it all with those two words? When did he change? Would I miss a kiss? When I thought all along we were meant to forge frontiers. How could I be so wrong?
The parlor of Mrs. Kirk's boarding house. It is June of 1865.
Miss March! Has anyone seen Miss March? Professor, have you seen whereabouts of Miss March?
No, Mrs. Kirk, I've not seen the whereabouts of Miss March.
Helga, do you have enough sheets for your boarders? Since you're ended, Professor, people are coming from everywhere.
Yes, ma'am, we have enough sheets, but there are not enough rooms. We're still 3 rooms short, and there are people coming in continuously. And this telegram arrived just now, ma'am. I signed for it.
What is it, Mrs. Kirk?
Miss March received a telegram, Professor. She could have inherited a great deal of money. She could be embarrassed. Then again, it could be a terrible tragedy. There is no telling. As her good friend, I think you could be concerned for her.
We're not good friends. We're simply acquaintances.
I see.
You and others in this house are under the impression that me and Miss March have some sort of kinship. We've simply gone places together.
The theater?
Yes, I took her to see Hamlet.
A pathetic tale.
Very pathetic. And I've given her 3 German lessons.
3, is that many?
And I've taken her to lectures, to the park, to hear the speakers shout. But Miss March hardly seems to know I exist. She rushes past me like the wind.
Christopher Columbus, Mrs. Kirk, have you seen the professor?
Behind you, darling.
Ah, guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Miss March. The word is Tag.
I
Guten
know.
Tag means good day.
I know what it means, but when you taught it to me, you said guten Tag.
I would never say Tag.
Well, I'm sure you did.
Well, I'm sure I did not.
All right then, guten Tag, and it is a very guten Tag, a wonderful guten Tag, Professor, and I have some amazing news. Sometimes when you dream, your dream is just a guess. Sometimes when you work really hard, you don't know if you'll ever find success. So I grabbed a story to sell and got ready to raise hell. Then I marched out the door and headed right for the weekly volcano press. Dashwood was a fiend. He sneered at my distress, tossed my story high on a stack. But I was determined I would progress. I said, sir, I'll wait while you read. But alas, he disagreed. So I jumped on a chair and read it right there at the weekly volcano press. Keep away from me, you wretch! I cannot keep away. Your beauty draws me. Your passion ignites me. It's the one with all the horror in it, the bloodbath. I took to heart what you said. I embellished. I made it better. Sit down, Professor, and watch. You will be delighted. Lightning strikes. Thunder claps.
I'm glad to have you. If you make, I defy you. I will take you. Let me buy you. Let go, let go, let go.
Rodrigo appears in magnificent splendor.
I'm not the woman villain.
Who are you?
I'm your destiny, your betrayed foe. I've come to await your crime of 10 long years ago. Run to the forest, run.
I can't. The forest is dangerous. My sister went there and never returned.
You must risk it. You must take the dark path. Your fate awaits you there.
You will never escape me.
Go now.
Dashwood was aghast, but could not care less. Words I spoke ignited the air. I felt like a publishing lioness. And that's when Dashwood started to shout. And I thought he'd throw me out. But then I persevered, and a forest appeared at the weekly volcano press. The forest is dark and scary. Clarissa enters, trembling, fearful of what fate awaits her. She comes to a fork in the road and stops.
Which way do I go?
A hag appears.
I can help you choose, but you must make a sacrifice. Give me something, dear. Those combs are nice.
I can't. Without these combs, what will I be?
Perhaps a hag, dull as me.
No, I can't.
You'll never know your destiny unless you give up vanity.
Please take it. I've got to know.
Your fate awaits you there.
The path is perilous. She avoids swamps, loses her footing. Her shoes tumble off. The sleeve of her dress gets caught on a twisted limb. She comes to wild rapids and can go no further.
How do I get across?
A troll appears. If you want to cross, you must pay. I have the only bow that can get you there alive. I see you wear that necklace that holds a pretty jewel. My price to get across is what you're wearing around your neck. Oh, how its glitter makes me drool.
My prospects are so bleak.
You will never know what wisdom is until you give up all your riches.
Here, it's yours. Now, show me where to go.
I will show you your fate. Sometimes when you dream, your dreams come true in extraordinary ways. Suddenly, a day can be so amazing, and sometimes when you yearn, you burn the air. And then someone else feels the flame you always knew was there. An old and feeble knight appears.
Stop, please. I cannot stop. Can you not hear me? I have nothing left to give. Give me your time. My fate awaits me. Can you not hear from me? It's been years since I felt the touch of another hand. Then, take my shawl. Rise it as it is. You have completed your journey. My sword is yours. It will protect you against your enemies. You can now return to the marsh. Your fate is in your hands.
And Clarissa raced from the forest, raced to the moors, where she cried out, I have returned, Braxton. I will free the moors of your tyranny. Fight me.
I always knew you'd come back to me. They always do.
Clarissa thrusts. She parries. She backs up Braxton, pins him against the tree. She leaps up on a craggy rock, her sword swishing and swishing. Never has she been so determined. She's on fire. Pity she hadn't taken dueling lessons. Out of nowhere, who should appear? The long-forgotten Rodrigo!
This is your end, villain. I wait a lifetime to destroy you. Who are you? I'm your worst nightmare, Braxton. I'm her sister.
And that's when Dashwood got on his knees, crying, sell this to me, please. And then he ordered 4 more. Now I'm writing for the Weekly Volcano Press. Sometimes when you dream, your dreams come true in extraordinary ways. Suddenly a day can be so amazing, and sometimes when you yearn, you burn the air. And then you are the same, and the world becomes yours to claim. Are you amazed?
Flabbergasted and delighted.
Oh, Christopher Columbus, today I feel anything is possible. I'm going to be a published writer. I can't believe it. $15 and $25 more for my commission.
You're rich.
I feel rich. Do you dance, Professor?
No.
Neither do I, but today I could.
Miss March, we should celebrate success. Have you been to the Broadway Gardens?
Are you asking me to dinner, Professor?
No. Yes?
I should like that. What were you and Mrs. Kirk talking about before I came?
Miss March, I almost forget to notice its assignment. The telegram arrived for you. More good news, I suspect.
I will open it. Today, I could start a revolution. I could...
Is it not good news?
Dear God, no. My sister Beth has contracted scarlet fever. She's gravely ill. I must go to her immediately. Mrs. Kirk,
fine. Tell them to keep reading.
I will. Darling, I'm so sorry. Sorry for you and your family.
Miss March, I'd like to accompany you.
Accompany me.
You should not travel alone.
I'm not afraid. I shall be fine. But thank you. Thank you both for everything.
Miss March, will you be back?
Of course. Of course I will.
And Velbla.
Yes. I'll need good luck.
Your simple words meant to leave you, Professor.
Yes.
The March Parlor. It is the summer of 1865.
Dear Professor Bear, I've been wanting to write to you. So much is happening here. My sister Meg is having a baby. My sister Beth is very frail, but I know I have it in me to make her better. I've decided to take her and my mother to Cape Cod, to Falmouth for a few days. Given all that is happening here, I don't know when I can return to New York. I miss it. I miss those volatile exchanges we had. I miss
Our walks in the park, to hear the speaker shout, how they would change the world. I too wish to change the world. Yes, of course. And how are you, sir? She asked me how I am. And so, how am I? My days are the usual. I wake up, I go out, time goes by.
She asked how I am, and so how am I? My days are the usual days. I wake up, I go out, time goes by. My days are exactly the days I have lived since arriving here. In fact, how I am is amazed that this comforts me year by year. I work and I eat. Life is muffins and jam. The house is nice and quiet now. That is how I am. 5 years in these rooms, reading Hegel and Kant. My mind is devoted to thoughts of the meaning of life. What more could I want? So why is it lately I find I'm uneasy all through the night? And why even now does my skin feel explosive as dynamite? Why does my heart pound like a battering ram? How can she ask me how I am? How I am is fine.
Dear Miss March, there is nothing dramatic or need to report. This will be short. Morning and evening, I live in my usual way. On the morning you return, you will see for yourself. Tell me, Miss March, are you happy so far from the clang and the beat of our turbulent streets? Quite often, I think of our days in New York. Though, of course, since you went, I've been quite content. I wake in the morning, and all I hear is the absence of sound. Yes, my peace is disturbed, but the roughness is in me as my thoughts run around. I wanted a life by myself in these rooms, But now all around me, another life looms. Who asked her to come and to go and to leave me like that? And now she expects me to send her a note?
She asks how I am. How can I reply? I go through my daily routine. I give lessons, I wait. Time goes by. Yet lately I find there is pleasure in humming a silly tune. And some days I go to the park and I sit there all afternoon. Some evenings I swear I can hear a door slam. The house is far too quiet now. That is how I am.
A beach and pavilion in Falmouth on Cape Cod. It is September of 1865.
Marmee, it's so beautiful, the waves and all the shells.
I believe this one's 1,000 years old. Listen to it, Beth. Remember how we always talked about coming to Cape Cod?
And how Joe, with her wee literary earnings, has brought us.
I'm so happy to be here with you. Remember, Beth, whatever's got hold of you, you'll continue on fighting it. You're so strong.
Look what I bought! A kite for my Beth. Look at the tail. I told the man I wanted all the colors of the rainbow for my sister.
It's the most beautiful kite I've ever seen.
I shall leave you two then.
No, Marmee, stay.
I'll go write father a letter and tell him how beautiful the cod is at this hour of the day. I love you.
Oh, Beth, this is a dream come true. Come, out of the chair. Help me put this kite together.
Tell me about New York again.
It's a circus.
A circus?
Clowns, waltzing camels, dancing horses. Sometimes you see them right out on the street. And museums, Beth, and theaters everywhere.
And the women, are they shameless?
Some of them anyway. It's an amazing place, Beth. I'm going to take you there.
New York.
And we'll dine in the best restaurants and see Shakespeare and ride the omnibus and mingle with unsavory characters.
Joe, I have something for you. Marmee says the shell is over 1,000 years old. If you put it to your ear, it talks to you.
What does it say?
It says, we grow up too fast. You're a woman of the world now, Joe, and I'm so proud of you.
When you were first born, not an hour old, I told Marmee,
Beth is mine.
everyone has someone special in the world, and I have you. My sweet Beth, give me a task to do.
Let's pretend we're riding on a kite. Let's imagine we're flying through the air.
We'll floating far from sight, light as paper will soar.
Let's be wild, high up above the sand. Feel the wind, the world at your command.
Ascend far from the shore.
Some things are meant to be,
The thrill of our magic ride.
and some things will never die.
The love I have inside for you. You and I will find the Milky Way.
We'll be mad and explore, we'll climb.
We'll recline,
Aloft upon the breeze.
dart about,
Dart about, sail on with windy ease.
pass the days doing only as we please. That's what living is for.
Joe, can I tell you a secret?
Anything.
I never made plans about what I would do when I grew up, and I'm not afraid to die. The hardest part, Joe, is leaving you.
I won't let it happen. You'll get better, you will.
Some things are meant to be, the tide turning endlessly, the way it takes hold of me, no matter what I do. But some things will never die. The promise of who you are, your memories when I am far from you, Joe, I have lived all my life for loving you. Now let me go.
Oh, Beth. Let's go home now.
Yes, Joe, because my time is near.
The March Parlor. It is the winter of 1865.
Everybody, I'm home.
Look at this house.
Marmy,
We
Joe.
left it in shambles and it is still in shambles.
Did you see the look I gave the coachman at March? His impertinence. He got every bump in the road.
One should always be civil to a coachman. We respect those who have the reins until we wrench the reins from them.
Yes. Meg, when did this house get so small?
As we go ground, the world around us diminishes in size. I have seen people this good before my very eyes.
You're such a dear, March. Thank you for everything.
I'll go see to that wretched coachman.
And remember at March, respect those who have the reins.
Very good.
Amy! Meg! Let me look at you. You're so beautiful. Let me look at you. You're a mother. Twins. I can't believe it.
Neither can I.
My baby's home. Marmy.
Look at her, Marmy.
You're all grown up. I am, Marmy. I'm sophisticated. You can't imagine all the experiences I had. And wherever I went, I think if only Meg were here. If only Joe. If only Beth. I was so sad not to say goodbye to her. I cried for weeks. Aunt March said I was being unreasonable, but my heart was breaking not to see her.
Beth understood.
Joe!
She said, tell Amy not to fret.
Did she really say that?
She was so brave to the very end. You'd have been proud of her.
Where did we get this magnificent piano?
Mr. Lawrence gave it to Beth.
He's such a dear, isn't he? It's so good to be back in our dear house. Come, Amy. Show us what you brought back. It's a king's ransom. I have so many things to tell you all. I have frogs, actual frogs. And how is John? Is he still romantic?
More so.
I knew it. Men are so amazing.
It's almost everything. Lori, I hadn't realized you were coming back too.
Yes, we all sailed on the same ship.
You look different.
Do I? I'm taller an inch or so.
It was so good of you to comfort Amy on Don's march after our loss of Beth.
When I heard the news, I was devastated. I didn't come to see you when I was in New York. I wanted to. I thought of it.
Don't blame you, Lori. I was horrible to you. I was so unfeeling.
You said what you felt.
No. Guess what? I saw the story.
I knew you would. I always had that sort of faith in you, Joe.
I know you did.
You look different too, you know. Very distinguished.
Really? I've missed you.
I missed it too. You know, I've learned something about myself.
What's that?
I was never meant to fly on golden wings.
Who is?
You, Joe. You were meant to soar. Me? I was meant for more mundane things. I've decided to go into grandfather's business. I know it's the last thing on earth I would have thought for myself. But the truth is, I'm sort of fascinated with the prospects. I shall be willy and true.
Lori, there you are.
Amy, did you tell Joe?
Tell me what? The most amazing thing.
Really quite a thing.
You tell her.
No, you tell her. All right, I'll tell her. We were under the Bridge of Science in a gondola.
Under Italian skies.
She was singing lullabies.
He said he likes the way I sing.
The day was ours.
We talked for hours.
It was amazing.
The most amazing thing.
So tell me, who proposed to whom?
We were trying to be so discreet about it.
Amazing. There we were in Venice.
In a gondola.
In Venice.
When he suddenly stood up
and shouted,
"Will you marry me?" And before we even knew it,
she dove dove in and rescued me.
It happened before we knew.
How amazing what time can do.
Whoever thought in all the world would fall in love, and yet we did. We'll be married in the spring.
Lori, welcome to the family.
Thank you, Joe.
I'm so sorry, Joe. I never meant for it to happen like this. I would always thought of Lori as yours.
He's never been mine. He's always been one of us.
I got you something.
You got something?
It's a book of my drawings. I drew everything you should have seen. All the palaces, churches, mountains. I want you to have it.
Amy, I can't.
Yes, you can. We'll be close, Joe. That'll never change.
Never. Thank you, Amy. I'm sure your drawings are beautiful.
Disappointed, you go up there, bolt the door, and come back hours so full of life. I haven't seen that Joe in a long time.
I can't write. I can't do anything really. In the past, I could always come up with something. I was always so good at that. Beth would say, Joe can make the clouds disappear. I want Beth back. I never should have broken the promise. I never should have gone to New York. If I'd stayed here,
Joe!
Everything would have been different.
Joe, stop it. No one could have done more for Beth than you have. You couldn't have changed. What happened?
How do you manage? How do you go on day in, day out as if nothing has happened?
You think that's how I go on?
You're strong and wise. How can I be like you? How can I find your strength?
Don't do so much of me, Joe.
Never dreamed of this sorrow. I never thought I'd have reason to lament. I wanted nothing but goodness. I wanted reason to prevail. How I wish I could change the way things went.
As Jo sat, filled with sadness, her memories took her back to a time when Beth was still alive. It was several days before Christmas. The sisters sat about the parlor and grumbled about their fate. Meg, the oldest and most romantic, said, "It's not fair some girls have pretty things while we have nothing." "It won't be Christmas without presents," said Amy in her usual pout. "And we haven't got Father to read for us," said Beth in a tone so sweet even angels would have listened. "But at least we've got each other."
Everything I promised them is here. All of us, the way we used to be. We will always have each other. They will always be the fire in my heart. Here I go, and there's no turning back. My great adventure has begun. Here, in the smallest details of the past, here in this attic, life is something vast. The four of us, forever here, at last. As unexpected as can be, astonishing. Oh, Beth, how I love you.
The March parlor. It is the winter of 1866.
Will we ever get through this day? This day will be magnificent. Soon Laura and Annie will be in wedded bliss.
Meg, I can't get married looking like this. This dress is not trouble.
The dress is very trouble. Why did I choose white for the flowers?
Amy, come, let me finish your hair.
I made all the wrong choices for this wedding, Marmee. This dress, the flowers.
You look like a Madonna.
Merci, John. It was all Laurie's idea to have our wedding in our very petite maison. And I can deny, mon amour, nothing.
Why is she speaking French?
Was it that silly at our wedding?
Worse.
Where is Josephine?
I'll go find her and tell Amy I have to speak to her about receiving line etiquette. We have the cream of Concord arriving at any moment.
I understand you want to talk to me.
I understand that you understand that this could have been your day.
You think I made a ghastly mistake?
I do not. Amy and Laura are ideally suited to each other. I've gone over my will.
Aunt Marge.
Amy will be receiving most of my money. Meg is making her way into society and won't need any of it. And as for you,
I don't want...
I know you don't want anything, and yet you want everything. Joe, every girl, every woman needs something to fall back on when times are bleak. I'm leaving you my house.
Your house?
Do something worthwhile with it. Make a library or a school.
Thank you, Aunt March. That's very generous of you.
I don't like that dress.
It's one of my old ones. It's one of your old ones.
Well, it looked better on me. Where is everyone?
Joe, there's a strange man at the gate asking for you. Professor Bear. Hello. This is a surprise.
I know. You wrote if I should ever come north. I should come visit you.
Yes, but
You never thought I would do it. Well, I did. I'm here. Shall I go?
no,
I'm not intruding?
you're not intruding. Come inside, I'll introduce
No.
you.
Not yet.
So, how is Mrs. Kirk?
As impossible as ever.
And the boarders?
As strange as ever.
And you?
Me? The same.
You look,
Old, I know. Nearly 50.
you're 34.
35.
You had a birthday?
They threw a party for me. I get sick. I don't like parties. I brought back your manuscript. It was so good of you to send a copy to me.
There's no one whose opinion I respect more than yours. Forgive me for presuming. Meg! I'll be right there! I would like you to meet my sister, Meg. Meg? I'll go bring her. Oh, there she is. This is my sister, Meg. This is Professor Bear.
Ah, yes. I recognize you now from your sister's book.
It's just that my sister, Amy, is getting married. I often think about you, Professor. I wonder how you were doing.
I bought a kite.
You bought a kite?
Soon after you left, I bought a kite and took it to the park. I've never had a kite before, you know. You were right to think I was old. I was old. But ever since we met, everything is different. Everybody noticed. My students even. They say, Professor Bear, you're smiling today. Miss March, your book. It touched me deeply. I saw you on every page. I heard your voice. I felt your spirit. It was magnificent.
Thank you. The sky gets bluer by the hour.
The water falls in little droplets.
That's why they call it a sun shower.
Ah, and now it stops.
I think you were about to say something.
If I say sun, then you say rain. If I say yes, then you say no. It seems before we start we are done. We even argue at hello.
If I say, let me share your small umbrella, you say, who cares if we get wet? We'll disagree on everything.
And yet, you make me smile. You make me laugh. You make me care. How can I explain? Inside my heart I feel pain when you're not there. Though, we're not all alike.
You make me feel alive.
If we had that in common, that one small thing in common, love could be like a small umbrella in the rain.
Josephine,
Christopher Columbus!
the guests will be arriving soon, and I'm with the family gathered in the parlor. And just who are you?
This is my Aunt March. This is Professor Bear.
Call me Fritz.
Fritz? Is that your name? Fritz?
Did I not tell you?
No.
Well, you were saying?
You were saying?
When people come up, when people discover passion, they've come upon something rare. This fervor they've come upon will shelter them anywhere. Though the rest may be rough, with such passion to share, I think we have more than enough. Enough to make a marriage if we dare.
You are proposing?
No, yes. Not today, or tomorrow. In a week maybe, 2 even. I'm a patient man.
I won't be sweet, won't be demure.
This I love, this I adore.
I'll speak my mind, you can be sure.
I'll be enchanted to the core.
If I say, let me share your small umbrella,
I'll say, who cares if we get wet?
we'll be as different as a husband and a wife.
No, we'll be as different as a woman and a man.
We'll disagree, we'll fight our way through life.
We'll disagree on everything.
And yet,
You make me smile, you make me laugh, you make me care. How can I explain? Inside my heart I feel pain when you're not there.
though we are not at all alike, you make me feel alive. Yes, we have that in common. That one small thing in common. Our love is like a small umbrella in the rain. What did you think about my manuscript? Tell me about it.
It was very nice.
Thank you. I was hoping to send it off to some publisher. What did you think?
Oh, I sent it to
You sent it to whom?
Henry Dashwood.
What did he say?
He said, it's a bit long. He liked the four sisters, especially the outspoken one.
Well, what else did he say? Did he want to publish it?
He did. He said he wanted to publish it as well.
Christopher Columbus!
We need you inside.
Marmee, I want you to meet a good friend of mine. This is Professor Fritz Bear. She has come to stay with us. We're thinking of starting a school together.
A school?
Not today, or next week, but someday.
Welcome, Professor. Come and meet our family.
Sometimes when you dream, your dreams come true in extraordinary ways. Suddenly, a day can be so amazing, and sometimes when you yearn, you burn the air, and then you are not the same. And the world is such a better place.
Sometimes when you dream, your dreams come true in extraordinary ways. Suddenly a day can be so amazing. Sometimes when you're young, you are the air, and you're not the same, and the world is. Sometimes when you dream, your dreams come true in extraordinary ways. Suddenly a day can be so amazing, and sometimes when you're young, you burn the air, and then you are not the same, and the world is
Such a better place.
leadership of the school as well, I would like to say a massive well done to our phenomenal cast. It's a very young cast from year 7 up to year 10. But what many of you might not realise is there are quite a few children standing here that it's their first year at St Lawrence. And also quite a number of children that are still supported by the EAL department. And you can see all of that practice twice a week on Sundays. Their performance, I think, is just transported us back to the 1800s and to Britain in a time kind of gone by. And what a cultural extravaganza we have had this evening. So please, another round of applause. Out to you that Isabella and Adoni are in year 6 in the junior school. Bravo. I can say, as a representative of the senior school, we can't wait to get them up into year 7. And I'm sure we will be seeing a lot more of them in the future. So thank you to all of the actors, the singers. Important person that I would like to thank, just round the corner, wasn't visible to all of you and yet incredibly important. Annie has been performing for us through the performance on the piano, so thank you very much. Also, very subtly conducting at the front, Miss Romeos has also been. Without a doubt, last and certainly not least, at the top you can see Dr. Lindy McMullen. Into school in the afternoons to spend a lot of time with all of these pupils, and also very close to the performance we had Sunday practices as well. You can see the learning of the lines, all of the stage direction, everything. Thank you to all of you for giving us a wonderful start to our election weekend. A lovely
for us to be a team, and we do have to remember our maintenance people that have been putting furniture on and taking it off. I want to especially thank all of you because you were outstanding tonight, and I honestly thought I was in Broadway. So thank you very much and have a great time. So I think that now you could possibly go. There is a buffet at the back. And thank you very much for coming to watch us tonight.
Thank you.